invited as a guest, an honored guest, to attend the 5th annual African Film Festival here in Louxor. Well, first of all, something happens to you, and I think it happens for some people at a very early age. There are people who decided, since I was 7 years old, I wanted to be an actor or whatever. Since being an actor was not a part of a career choice that I thought about, that you would think about in my community, really, doing something useful and something thoughtful and something that virtually had some sort of steady income is how you look at acting in my career. In most things that you have an attraction to, or you in some sense have a passion for, you're able to visualize your growth. Whatever it is, whether you're a journalist, whether you're a doctor, whatever, you're able to see your growth. You know, so you're able to kind of say, okay, I can put my mouth around those words. I'm able to understand the deeper meaning of those words in relationship to the character, or at least I have the willingness to try to understand it. You know, I may not always get there, but I try to understand. All that's a part of a process that you, and then all those things culminate into you doing something. The choices of whether is that I would want to do this more than what I'm currently doing. Well, there are many people who inspired me at the beginning, before I made some sort of, specific took some sort of specific direction in acting. So the inspirations were set not specifically connected to the people themselves. It was connected to the work, and you figure out you begin to figure out how do I now construct those feelings and emotions within a framework of a script or a story or a narrative. So those are the kind of things that I think, in some sense, were inspiring me. What are the things that I have to do to present, or to present in this sense, and internalize real people in what is concluded within the narrative be in real time and space. You know, the ones that I produce, are the ones that I have the most control over with respect to whether I do it or not. I may be for the movies that I produce, it may be that those movies in some ways are valuable because, on the one sense, it allows me to interpret art through another party, in which we have a co-agreement in terms of what the narrative and what the story is. And that's a different one where I don't have any control over a situation where somebody says, Danny, we're going to pay you X amount of money to do this film. The idea of Africa, there's a lovely poem by Langston Hughes. Then I'm a descendant of Africa. And the name of the poem is Afro-American Fragments and everything else. Afro-American Fragments. And I'm a descendant of Africa. The way in which the world has come through me has been that of a descendant of this great continent. So the world, my ideas of myself also to reflect that part of me and with respect to who I am as an African in the world. Well, you do that on several occasions, in several ways. Often my work does not necessarily directly change the nature of how we look at the situation of black people. You know, I've had the fortune throughout my career is to be able to do a project reaches out beyond just what we normally think. It has a kind of double meaning. It is perhaps educational. It is for as advocacy, and because there's so many different other things to end this system. And the people accept in seeing the play, for the most part, people accept in seeing the play a responsibility to fight against this system, the system of injustice. So essentially, I've been in situations where I've done that kind of work. And it just so happens that that work reflects in a popular film called Lethal Weapon 2, where the idea around what we call illegal